welcome. I'm going to tell the truth, guys. I'm feeling a little bit fat this week. And it's probably due to the 4,200 calories that I ingest and put through my body almost every day. Except maybe on the weekend sometimes when I don't count them. I can't really be sure how much I'm eating. But I'm bulking, all right? I'm trying to get big. And I am going to the gym as well. I'm not just acquiring mass for no freaking reason. But it's starting to get to me a little bit, It's when your pants start not fitting. I've had to buy super extra large t-shirts. But I think I'm going to be bulking until probably January or something like that. But gee willikers, it's a bit of a chore having to eat this much food. Because it ends up that at the end of the night I have to drink a lot of milk because I've not hit the goal. And I currently weigh 121 kg. That's about 19 stone and about 265 pounds. I don't know, it would be nice just to feel a little bit less fat. But it's nice the rugby's on. I've been watching so much South Africa. The Springboks, yeah. And I didn't even know how the rugby rules work. But now I've got this big frame. I want to do it. But my mate plays rugby. Every time I see him, almost bi-weekly, he has these rugby games. And he's always got a story of someone having a life-changing injury at one of these games. Either the shoulders popping out, they're being paralyzed, the legs are being pulled out the sockets, concussions. Do I need to say any more? And from someone that's never tackled anyone before, I feel like if I just went in there, cold feet, I feel like I'd be in a wheelchair for the rest of my life. I would get injured very quickly. Yes, very quickly. And he has a lot of funny stories because these rugby guys, everyone takes the piss out of him because they all get gay when they all start getting together. They get a little bit gay. And it's true. A lot of their banter is sticking their fingers up each other's arse and drinking loads of wine. And it's not necessarily a bad thing. It sounds like my cup of tea, if I'm being honest. Are they a good bunch of lads? I don't know. I only know a couple. And my friend plays for this team, and he was telling me that there's this fat guy. He's on the team. His job is to put on everyone's shirts before the games to stretch them out so they fit better. Which is just lovely. Can you imagine just having a fat guy around whose only purpose is to put on your shirt? Hey, fair enough getting in the team. It's better than cleaning the boots. All you have to do is just eat. Everyone does that. But I was watching this movie last week, and it's called Silence. And you might have seen this little chick flick. It's this Martin Scorsese film, and it is, it's about some missionaries that go to Japan. And I watched this because I was going to see Killing of the Flower Moon the day after. I thought, hey, I'm going to get my Scorsese on, and maybe I'll be so creamed up from this that I will I'll just love it. I'll just love it, and I'll just love it even more. So I put this movie on. And what I like to do in movies now is take lots of deep breaths, put my phone on the other side of the room, and just breathe and smoke cigarettes. And just sit there and really try and take it all in and not have to think about getting my brain activity too hot. Oh, I don't know if you hear that, but I just farted. Yeah. And my friend was actually joking at the cinema that they need to start putting a video of someone playing Temple Run below the cinema screen just so everyone can pay attention. It's funny that you get these shorts where there are people like driving a car in GTA down loads of bumpy ramps, and it's just so people have something to look at because they can't just sit and listen to a 30-second clip. It was very funny from my friend, so I'm not going to try and palm that off as one of my original thoughts. But yeah, this silence movie, it's a bit of a different one. Usually, I need a trickle of action. You know, someone getting their head beat up, someone breaking a bone. You know, every 20 minutes or so. This kind of didn't have that. There's a bit of decapitation, which Daddy liked. The people that run the area, they're trying to get rid of all these Catholics, because fuck me, they just love talking, these Catholics, and spreading the nonsense. And these people that try and find out where they have this symbol on their head, these Japanese people, and it's so funny how similar it looks to like the radiation symbol. And it's kind of like foreshadowing the 20,000-ton nuclear bomb that eventually gets dropped on Nagasaki almost 300 years later. And I just thought that was so strange. But I can do the pretty good accent of the guy that's the shogun. Padre. Yeah, so that's kind of that. That's kind of that. But it was so similar because it's got Liam Neeson in it. Bro, this could have been Batman Begins, I'm telling you, with Ra's al Ghul. I thought Batman was going to pop out of the shadows at some point and snap this bitch ass's neck. This bitch ass's neck. This little pussy's neck. But he didn't. But it's actually interesting, that whole little period of history, Endo-Japan. And I already knew a little bit about it because I watched these videos on YouTube about art. And apparently they didn't get certain colours because they had this policy, like isolationism, where they didn't open the country up to the outside world and nobody could leave or enter for about 200 years. I just love going on Wikipedia and reading about all this stuff because it's so interesting. And the way they got out of this isolationism, right, was America sailing a load of boats over there. It's a really funny tactic, this. It's called gunboat diplomacy. Basically, what gunboat diplomacy is, you get a navy, right, a few ships, a few warships, and you sail them over to a coastal city, and you kind of just park them all outside this city, right, and take a little boat and give them a little, I don't know, it can be a treaty, a trade agreement, or demand some sort of stuff. And you know, obviously, if you're Japan, you're looking at all these America's huge naval fleet of about 8 ships outside your city. You don't even know how the fuck they've made these things. They look futuristic. You've not been exposed to the technology of the outside world for 200 years, so you're very far behind. And basically, they said, "Hey, you better open up your country and you better trade with us." And they kind of winked, you know, because it's implied that if you say, "Hey, I don't think we want to do that, bro. Get out of our port, bro," then they're just going to flatten it, or they're going to take it by force, and you're going to be invaded. And looking through the Wikipedia page of gunboat diplomacy, right, it's pretty shocking because Britain, they used to do this quite a lot. And I've been reading, guys. Apparently, we weren't too nice to other countries over the past 300 years. You look through the Wikipedia page, it's like the people who've done it. It's like Great Britain, Great Britain, Great Britain, Dutch, Great Britain, USA, Great Britain, Great Britain. So it's pretty nice to run the leaderboards in something. But on the global stage, I mean, we've kind of just gone downhill. The once great United Kingdom. It's like sitting down with your granddad and asking him loads of questions, looking up at him, and he's speaking. He's saying, "Oh, back when I was younger, I was the top of the class. I was the strongest man in the school. I went into the army, and I saved the town from the occupying forces." And he's regaling all these tales to you, how impressive, how great he once was. And then he stands up and he's got his own shit running down his leg. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? That's what it kind of feels like, Britain on the global stage at the minute. Very geriatric the way we operate at the minute. But I do like gunboat diplomacy. I might use it next time I go for a job interview. Or if I ask a girl out, get all my cousins to park outside their house and stand in the cars and just imply the threat of violence if they say no. My last little thought that I had is a few people I've spoken to. My friend have said this, and a woman that I was talking to, where they've listened to a child say something that, you could take as them being born again, and have lived a past life. Both stories, kids being in a car and drove past somewhere and looked out the window and going, "Oh, this looks different," or "There used to be houses here." And they hear this, and the kid's obviously a child and just says child shit. And obviously these parents hear this and think, "Oh my God, our little Johnny was a 17th century cobbler." And they just take it as gospel. They think that now their kid was born again. And people don't do that with anything else that children do. When they start eating Play-Doh, when the kid's like, "This is food, I just made a pizza." And they start devouring it in front of you. You don't go, "Oh, it's a pizza. He's just made an edible pizza." You take it out of the mouth and make them spit it out because they're children and they don't know any better. So why, when they start saying, "Oh my God, the bricks are different on this house," is the first conclusion that they once lived on these streets in a past life?